I woke up choking on thick black diesel smoke filling my house before the sun even came up. It wasn't a bad dream, it was real. 6 massive cement trucks were parked across my private driveway in the Arizona desert, engines idling, blocking my garage completely. My irrigation system was crushed, sprinkler lines my wife and I installed together were flattened like plastic toys, and the worst part? My disabled daughter was trapped inside the house with no way to get to school. When I stepped outside, coughing, still half asleep, there she was, the HOA treasurer, clipboard in hand, fake smile locked on her face like it was glued there. She looked at my driveway, at the trucks, at the damage, and said, "Oh, sweetie, relax. Your driveway is community property now." I told her, "This is private land. You need to move these trucks right now." She smiled wider and said, "It's all perfectly within the rules, honey." That's when I realized something was very wrong. Because these weren't just a few trucks. These were cement mixers, heavy equipment, the kind that destroys land fast. And they weren't there for a few minutes. They were there on purpose. Over the next few days, more trucks showed up. Diesel fumes became my alarm clock. My daughter missed school. I lost work. My neighbors started blaming me. And the HOA treasurer kept calling me difficult every time I asked her to stop. Then things got worse. Concrete dust started killing my plants. An asphalt crew showed up and paved over my wife's memorial garden without asking. Roses I planted after her funeral were buried under hot tar in a single afternoon. And when I protested, she said, "Progress requires sacrifice." That's when I knew this wasn't about community improvement. This was about power and money and using HOA rules as a weapon. What she didn't know was this. She was using my land for her construction business, and I owned the one thing she couldn't build without: access. Every truck, every delivery, every project she ran had to pass through my property, and buried in an old deed was one sentence that changed everything. One legal right that turned her $30,000 concrete delivery into a ticking bomb. She thought she had control. She thought I was helpless. But in exactly one afternoon, I shut down her entire operation without breaking a single law. And when those cement trucks stopped moving, everything she built started falling apart. Stay with me, because this HOA bully thought she won until I closed the gate. I woke up at dawn, choking on thick black diesel smoke pouring into my bedroom window. 6 massive cement trucks were parked all over my private driveway in the Arizona desert. They blocked my garage completely, crushed the sprinkler lines Sarah and I installed together, and worst of all, trapped my disabled daughter inside with no way to get her to school. Standing right there was the HOA treasurer, clipboard in hand, fake smile glowing like a spotlight. She said, "Oh, sweetie, relax. Your driveway is community property now." I shot back, "This is private land. Get these trucks off my property." She smirked and replied, "It's all perfectly within the rules, honey." But Gabrielle had no idea I owned the one thing her construction empire desperately needed, and I was about to turn her $30,000 concrete delivery into the most expensive mistake of her life. What would you do if an HOA destroyed your family's peace? Drop a like if you fought these bullies. Tell me your state and hit subscribe for the full revenge payoff. Meet Wade Carpenter, 48 years old, irrigation system installer, a man who understands the value of water in the desert. Wade isn't just any contractor. He's the guy who can make green grass grow where scorpions refuse to crawl. 2 years ago, Wade's world fell apart when his wife Sarah lost her fight with cancer. Medical bills hit harder than an Arizona summer. He watched his savings disappear faster than dew on hot asphalt. But he held on to the one thing that mattered most, the house he and Sarah built together on 5 acres at the edge of Sagebrush Estates. A gated community where every sprinkler line was placed by hand, every rose bush planted with care. Now it's just Wade and his teenage daughter Sophia, and every morning at exactly 6 a.m., Wade stands outside checking sprinkler pressure. Not because he has to, because it's the one habit that keeps him steady. The sound of water tapping metal, the steady gauge readings, the comfort of knowing something still works the way it should. Wade's property sits on a corner lot that controls the only access road to the community's construction sites, prime land, and someone had been watching it closely. Enter Gabrielle Walsh, HOA treasurer, owner of Walsh Construction, a company she inherited when her husband died 5 years earlier. Gabrielle had a talent for sounding sweet while using power like a weapon. She called everyone honey, sweetie, dear, but behind that tone was a woman who would sell her own mother's house if the paperwork allowed it. Gabrielle had big plans for Wade's land, luxury homes, big profits, the kind that made her eyes shine like slot machines hitting jackpot. It started quietly. One Tuesday morning, Wade walked outside for his usual sprinkler check and found 3 cement trucks parked across his driveway. Drivers gone, engines cold, trucks sitting like steel animals blocking his garage. "Morning, Wade." Gabrielle appeared with her clipboard and polished smile. "Sorry about the trucks, sweetie. Just temporary staging for the community pool upgrade. You don't mind, right?"
It wasn't a question. Wade minded when Sophia couldn't get her car out for her library job. He minded more when his irrigation van was stuck inside the garage, forcing him to cancel 3 clients. But what hurt most was the crunch under his boots as he inspected the damage. Truck tires had crushed the sprinkler lines he and Sarah designed together, lines that carried memories, Sunday afternoons planning zones, evening walks mapping water flow. Now 3 main pipes were flattened, and concrete dust settled on Sophia's bedroom window like gray snow. "How long?" Wade asked. "Oh, just a few days, honey. Maybe a week." She adjusted her fake designer purse. "Community improvements help everyone." Wade understood. He understood she had just declared war on his home, his family, and his livelihood. 3 trucks became 6 by Thursday morning. Air brakes hissed at 5 a.m. Diesel smoke became his alarm clock. Sophia missed work. Wade lost 6 client jobs. Pre-season peak happened. Every day mattered. Then he noticed water bubbling up through the soil. Crushed PVC lines leaked under pressure like broken arteries. His irrigation system was failing. His work, his past, his peace. He confronted Gabrielle at her trailer. "The trucks need to move today," Wade said. "My daughter can't get to work. My system is damaged." "Oh, honey, I get it, but this is for the greater good. Don't be difficult." That word hit hard. Difficult. That night, Wade did research. Permits, schedules, rental stickers. Those trucks weren't just for the pool. Gabrielle was renting his driveway to other contractors and making money from it. Friday morning, concrete dust coated his windshield. One mixer malfunctioned overnight, spraying alkaline dust that burned plants on contact. His landscaping began dying. "Just rinse them off," Gabrielle said when confronted. By Monday, 5 a.m. deliveries became routine. Neighbors complained but blamed Wade. Cameras went up. $800 he couldn't afford but had to spend. Footage showed everything. Trucks rotating, companies paying Gabrielle, a full commercial operation running off his land.
County zoning office told him to file online, 6 to 8 weeks. Then came the asphalt crew. They paved over Sarah's memorial garden, roses gone, 2 years of care buried in hot tar. "Progress requires sacrifice," Gabriel said. That night, Wade filed a police report. Civil matter, they said. But Gabriel had crossed a line. The asphalt crushed irrigation lines beneath it. Water pressure built underground. Soil compacted. Hairline foundation cracks formed. Insurance wouldn't cover intentional damage. Neighbors turned colder. Sophia found her father staring at old photos. "Mom always said water finds a way," she reminded him.
That night, Wade walked the land, felt the pressure beneath the asphalt, heard water moving underground. And then he found the deed, Sarah's old envelope, paragraph 7, exclusive gate rights. The access easement expired in 1987. He owned the choke point. No permission, no access. A retired cop confirmed it. A lawyer confirmed it. The power shifted. Wade designed a gate, industrial, hydraulic, unmovable, $8,500 he didn't have. Installed Thursday night. Gabriel served a violation notice Friday morning. Aesthetic issue, $500 per day fine. Procedurally invalid, the lawyer said. The gate stayed. Friday's concrete pour was scheduled for noon. 8 trucks. Gate activation set to 2 p.m. At 2 o'clock, steel closed. 3 trucks trapped. Concrete ticking. Fire chief arrived. Violations everywhere. Impound called. Phones recording. Evidence played on the community screen. Gabriel's smile shattered. $30,000 turned to stone. 6 weeks later, settlement paid. Gabriel resigned. Garden restored. Sophia won a scholarship. Wade taught others to stand up. Water always finds a way. Thanks for hanging out with us on HOA Prime Stories, where HOA bullies finally meet their match. If this story made you cheer or cringe, like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next HOA nightmare turned victory.